What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing? Today we're going to talk about this right here. This thing right here. Yeah, I got one. Yeah, and it's on. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys will know that I got a Fender Eliminator kit for my 2014 Daytona 675. We're going to kind of go into the install. Unfortunately, I'm going to tell you up front, my video got messed up with the audio actually portion, and it got all crackly for some reason, so I'm actually going to have to do a voiceover. Hopefully it comes out good for you guys, but in the end, you guys are going to see the installation of a Fender Eliminator kit for 2014 Daytona 675, which wasn't too bad. Big shout out to, boom, right here, eBay seller. One of the reasons that it's taking me so long to put on a Fender Eliminator kit is really the fact that the price for one of these, which is like 150 bucks, 180 bucks, depending on where you go, for a piece of metal, I just couldn't, I couldn't put that together. Like, it just didn't seem worth it for me. And so that's why I got a lot of the other stuff on, and I never got the Fender Eliminator kit. But I found an eBay seller with really good reviews who hand makes these here in the United States for a bunch of different bikes. I'm gonna make sure I put the link down below. If you guys have been holding off for a Fender Eliminator kit just because the price, to be honest, and check this dude out, man. He's legit. Great craftsman's work. It's made in the United States, made by hand. It fits fucking perfectly. Like, it just works. And everything you need is included with it. He does have the LED lights, which I don't install, mainly because they have like the standard LED connections, and I didn't want to. I already had to splice the cables, and I mean, you'll see, I had to splice some cables, but I'll show you guys in the video. But either way, they're 50 bucks, man. You can't really beat that. 50 bucks with the LED kit, and he does all kinds of bikes, and they're really, really, really well built. So why don't you guys go check him out? I'll put the link down below, and you can see what kind of, if he has it for your bike. He has a bunch of them. So I mean, he has it for the Daytona, so I'd imagine he has them for yours. But a really cool dude. I've been talking to him, and really cool guy to work with. So I guarantee that you're gonna have a good experience with him. So go check him out. But anyways, like I said, I apologize for the voiceover that I might have to do, but it is what it is. I still got a lot of good footage on it. So if you want to see how to install one, you want to stick around here and wait for the intro to come through. If not, at least hit the like button, leave a little like button, leave a comment down below, and let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started. Alright, we're gonna try not to waste too much time here and jump right in on this, on the 2014 Daytona 675 Fender Eliminator install kit. Apologize for the voiceover, not something I typically do, but you know, when the audio gets messed up, you gotta do what you gotta do. Also, don't forget to go over to eBay and put the link down below for custom bike parts. The dude is going to take care of you. Really cool guy, really good customer service, and I almost guarantee he's going to have what you need for your bike at a really, really good price compared to what you're going to find anywhere else. So go check him out as we get started. So one of the very first things that I want to point out here is that the Fender Eliminator kit doesn't come with any instructions, but if you know me, you know I'm not like super mechanically challenged. There really isn't much to it. It's pretty simple to do. So I wouldn't really worry about it if you order it for your bike and it's not like a Daytona 675. I'm sure pretty much any other Fender Eliminator kit video that you're going to find is going to work for you. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start by removing the battery. Not sure if it's necessary, but you know, I just did it just because we're messing with the electrical components and we're going to be doing things with that, and I didn't really want to cause a short and potentially cause some damage that I really didn't need to do. So first step for me, remove the seat, and then go ahead and disconnect the battery. So for the next step, all you got to do is remove the rear seat, and there's actually 4 bolts that you need to remove. It just requires an 8mm socket, and as you can see towards the, the front of the rear seat, there is one that's kind of difficult, and you're probably going to require some kind of extension to get to. It's made to be pretty simple, although if you have smaller hands, it's a little bit easier just in case you lose a bolt. like I did right here, and small hands make it much easier to grab that thing. So Glitter Ninja, go ahead and helping with the assist here, so I ain't taking the L's. Other than that, as I said, it's designed to remove really quick just because it's technically a track bike. So the 4 bolts come right out, and then actual the whole, I guess, whale tail or whatever you want to call it, pops right out after disconnecting this cable. Make sure to keep the little whale tail available because there are going to be some components that you're going to need to remove for the lighting system, so keep that on hand. So for this part, all I'm doing is installing the LED lighting system for the license plate holder. Super simple, all the hardware comes with it. The one thing that I will say is I do not use the LED lights that came with it, mainly because they didn't just plug in with the OEM system that you pull out of the whale tail, which I'll show you in a minute. So I did just use the stock LED light, or the stock lights for the blinkers, but I think it still comes out pretty well. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and speed through this part. Basically, all you need to do is open up the whale tail and pull out all the internal parts. I did have a little bit of trouble with it just because it had been on so long that there was some rusted bolts pieces for it. So it just required an Allen key and a little bit of brute force to get it all apart. But once you get it apart, it's pretty simple. I also cleaned the inside. It was a little, whatever you call it, dirty, or I don't know. It was just disgusting inside, and so I kind of cleaned it off because I was going to put it all back in the bike, made it a little bit easier. This was pretty much the hardest part of the whole process, is just breaking it open and cleaning it out. I also did leave the, or once I removed all the internals, I did connect the LEDs that came with it until I realized that they didn't fit in the OEM part. I went ahead and left it in here just because it's really easy, and it was kind of just, you know, it was easier to leave it in than cut it out. But if you want to do that, and you can definitely do that. And then once I realized that they didn't fit with the OEM parts, I just went ahead and swapped them back to the standard blinkers, which, like I said earlier, I think it still looks pretty damn good. Nothing really bad with that. And then the next part, which was kind of hard, was actually taking the LED license plate, or the license plate bracket piece off, and then you have to splice it so you can use the OEM little connector and just connect it with the LED version, and it plugged in pretty simply, and then you just throw some electrical tape over it, plug it all back in, and really that was it. That's the hardest part, honestly. Really, anybody could do this. I'm really not I'm really not technically inclined when it comes to, you know, mechanics and fucking motorcycle working stuff, but this is definitely nothing that you should not do. It's very simple to do, really easy, and obviously clean design. So hardware all worked out. It was all where it needed to be, all in one piece. Everything came together, so it was pretty good experience overall. And like I said, that's why I definitely recommend you guys go ahead and check them out. Great product, great stuff. Customized bike parts, you definitely came through with this one. So yeah, keep up the good work. Now, the only word of caution here is to make sure that you're careful with the left and right blinker. You don't want to get them mixed up. All I did real quick is, after I get it all set up into the bracket, is run a little quick test, plug it all in, turn on the bike, make sure left was left and right is right, because you definitely don't want to have that as a mix-up while you're riding down the street. So from this point on, it's pretty much just doing everything you did to remove the original whale tail in reverse. Only it's going to come out much cleaner. Now, the one thing I could tell you is that after removing the stock OEM whale tail, because most of the cabling went into that, there's literally no room left under your tail seat because it's filled up with cables. So you're basically filling it up with cables, and you have just enough room for your registration. But other than that, it's super simple install to get done. As you can see, this looks really clean. Was really simple to install, not hard. So again, big shout out to Custom Bike Parts for hooking it up and making this possible. Did a really good job with the manufacturing of it. The big key piece for me was that it was cheaper than anything else out there, well built, made in America, which is kind of a cool thing to hear, because that doesn't happen very often anymore. So make sure to go check them out. I'll put the link and everything you need down below in the description. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, have a fantastic day, evening, morning, whatever it is, whatever time it is you're watching this. Peace.